Hey everybody, it is Carla with Carla's Clever Crafts, and tonight, as promised, we're going to be making a wreath using these cute, adorable little gnomes and some bumblebees. Give me just a second here to try to load in my comments. As you can see, I have some of the mesh laid in for us to get us started. I normally have some of the ribbons already done too, but I was not able to get to that, so we're going to just go right ahead and do it all during the video. Okay, and real quick before we get started, I wanted to show anybody who's watching or might watch the replay that I have done this cute little beehive with the bear hanging on the top of it and hugging wrapped around it. And we're going to be doing this in a live in probably the next couple days. We'll go ahead and do him. And then another project that I've been working on that I think I'm going to do a live on is this really cute bumblebee, and he's pretty good size. He's probably 12 to 14 inches or so, and I'm gonna make him so that he can either hang on your wall by himself, or he could be used as a wreath attachment, or whatever that you wanted to do with him. But that's another project that I have in the works. Hey honey. Okay, so real quick before we get started on the actual design, I'm going to go over how to wire your frame for this design. This one is already done, but I'm going to use it to demonstrate. You're going to have 12 pipe cleaners on the outside 2 rings and 6 on the inside 2 rings. This is a 14-inch Dollar Tree frame. And the way that you get the numbers that you need is you have 4 rings that go around this way, and then there are 6 sections, and a section is considered in between each of these crossbars. So you're going to come on the inside 2 rings in the middle of the 2 crossbars and put your first pipe cleaner. When you get that one in place, then come to the outside 2 bars and come in the middle of the crossbar and the pipe cleaner that you just put in, and put it right as close to the middle as you can get it. And then you're just going to come over here to the opposite side and do the same thing. Halfway between this crossbar and this middle pipe cleaner, put 1 there. So you'll end up with 3 in each section. And once you do each section, that gives you your total of 18 that you'll need for this design, okay? Alrighty. Now, I have started putting the mesh in, and I'm using the cruffle method for this design. Let me move this little guy out of my way. Okay. And I am using 2 different meshes, although they're very, very similar. I am rotating this natural beige burlap mesh and this natural beige with the white stripe, like the white check pattern. And I'm just every other one. So you'll need 6 of the white with the white and 6 of the just plain beige. The meshes are 10 inches wide, and each of them are cut 16 to 17 inches long. Okay, and I have last laid in the beige, so I am going to do the beige and white next. And when I was cutting this mesh, I'm not sure what I was doing, because I think I ended up with more pieces than I needed. Okay, so to make our cruffle, we just lay our piece of mesh straight out in front of us. Fold over the first edge, use our pinkies to hold the ends down, and then we're just going to roll it 2, 3, 4 times. Put our clip or clothespin or something to hold this curl into place. We're going to turn that away from us, and we're going to do the same thing on the other end. So just fold it over. Remember to keep your ends down. And 2, 3, 4. And that gives us a curl on each end, just like that. So we're going to turn the curls face down, and then we're just going to cruffle or ruffle, scrunch right up the middle and pull it towards us until we have pinched the 2 sides together. Take your clip off, and it should look kind of like a butterfly or a big bow. Okay, and then we can put it in our wreath form. When I put them on my bottom layer of mesh, which is what we're working on right now, I put the finished edge to the outside and the inside. That's going to give us an overall wreath design of about 24 to 25 inches. Okay. And now that we've done the beige and white, we're going to do beige next. But real quick, I wanted to mention, for these first 12 pieces of mesh, we're only working on the outside 12 pipe cleaners, on the outside rings. We're not using the inside 6 at all yet. At this point, we won't do that until later. Okay. We do the same thing again. Curl on one end. Turn it around and curl the other end. Flip it over, and then just scrunch right down the middle, small sections at a time, to create like a ruffle effect. So you have basically curls and a ruffle, which is why they named it cruffle, I think. I did not create that. I learned that from watching videos, and it is my favorite mesh method. Okay, so now we have 2 beiges, and we got 1 pipe cleaner left, so we need to do a beige and a white. Oh, you know, I think my camera angle is not right. Let's see. No, I'm not supposed to move this. That's not fixing it. Well, I don't know what's going on there. Sometimes my camera angle is correct when I do these videos, and then other times it's not. So I'm not sure what's going on. Hopefully you guys can see okay. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, whoops, I didn't need that clip. We're gonna scrunch it now. Okay, and remember, finished edge to the outside and the inside. Place it in your pipe cleaner. And at this point, you'll still be able to see some of the wireframe underneath, but that's okay. We'll fix that as we do our layering and build our wreath design. And when you put your last piece of mesh in, make sure you go to the right and pull the piece of mesh that's to the right out over top of the last one you lay in. This keeps your pattern uniform. Your curls all lay in the same way. Okay, so then we need to work on our ribbon tails. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay, so for this design, I am using this adorable bee gnome on kind of, it's like a light beige background. And then I'm going to be using this bumblebee buzzing and flying around, which is on a little bit darker beige with the red stitching on the outside. And then I'm going to couple those with the yellow polka dot and the black and white polka dot. Okay? So to do our bottom row, first thing I'm going to do is, oh, I forgot to mention, these are cut 12 inches long. This is, all of these ribbons are 2.5 inches wide, except for the black and white polka dot is 1.5 inch wide. You could use 2.5 or 1.5. You could switch those sizes, and it's not going to make a big difference to your overall design. And like I said, they are cut to 12 inches long. And all of the ends are dovetailed. So real quick, just to dovetail, you just fold it in half long ways, cut at an angle from the folded side up to the wired side, and when you cut at that angle, and open it up, you have a pretty inward V. Okay, so on our top layer, we're going to need 3 12-inch pieces of each of these ribbons. So I'm going to go ahead and pull those out of my way and set them to the side. So 3 of each. And then on the bottom, we are going to need 6 of the gnome and 6 of the bumblebee. And then you're going to need 3 12-inch pieces of the black and white and 3 of the yellow polka dot. And I'm going to get ready and show you why you only need 3 of those. Brian, are you in the living room?
Yeah.
Can you bring my scissors? I think I laid them down in there when I came in from cutting ribbon. Oh, it's so beautiful here today. I was cutting ribbon on my porch to enjoy the nice warm temperature. Thank you. You gonna say hi? Okay, so with these, I'm going to do 6-inch pieces. So I'm going to take 3 of the yellow and black, and I'm going to make 6-inch pieces out of these. And to do that, I just line up the ends the best that I can, fold it in half, and then I crease along the edge down here, and I'm just going to cut right along that crease. Okay, and so now what we have is 6 6-inch pieces. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with the black and white. There's a wire sticking out, I'm going to trim that off. Okay. Okay, so now we have 6 6-inch pieces of the black and white and 6 of the yellow and black. We're going to start laying those in our pipe cleaners, and we're going to alternate the colors. So I'm going to start with the yellow and black. To lay these in, we just lay it in front of us, and we have one flat end and one dovetailed end. We're going to scrunch along the flat edge and just pinch it between our fingers like that. We're going to lay it into our pipe cleaner with the 6-inch piece coming straight out the middle of the piece of mesh you're putting it on top of. And we're going to do that same process all the way around, just rotating the colors and patterns. So with the 1.5-inch black and white, scrunch on the flat edge, pinch it together, go to your next pipe cleaner, lay that in there, coming straight out the middle of that piece of mesh you're putting it on top of. And then once I put it in, I just like to push up next to the pipe cleaner and kind of arch my ribbons out so they curl outward. And normally I have some of this done before I go live, but I was working on so many other projects today that I lost track of time and wasn't able to get it ready before I needed to go live. So I will try to work quick. This is a very popular design. Lots of people like bee gnomes. I actually ordered a couple more sets of them today so that I will be able to make a couple more of them at least. I do my ribbon tails as I go because I feel like attention to detail is important when you're designing something like this. So I like to make sure that I'm not going to miss any ribbons and adjusting them to lay the, you know, the way that I think looks good, or the way it looks in the picture, so that the customer receives exactly what they are expecting. Okay, just a few more. And then we will go around with the 12-inch pieces, and we will also alternate those. Last one. And this is what it will look like when you get all of your 6-inch pieces in. They're all pretty evenly spaced. Okay, and so now we'll start working on our 12-inch pieces. Our primary ribbons is what I like to call them. And I'm going to put the B over top, I think the black and white. Yes, I'm going to put the B over the black and white, and I'm going to put the gnome over the yellow and black. I feel like if I put these two together, I have too much yellow bunched up, so that's the way I'm going to do it. Okay, so to put in our 12-inch pieces, you just lay it out in front of you. You're going to scrunch right down the middle, pinch the sides together, and then V it back towards you. Line up your two ends here, and it should look just like a V in your hand. And then you are ready to place it in. And remember which color you decided to put it over. In this case, I'm putting it over the black and white. And we're not going to add anything else to this pipe cleaner, so at this point I can clip off the extra, push the end down inside and squeeze it to secure my ribbons. Okay, next is our cute little gnome. And the same thing, we're going to just repeat that same process all the way around, making sure that we remember to alternate between the bee and the gnome. And then I'm arching them out same way as I did the 6-inch pieces. I just push up where the pipe cleaner is and then just kind of curl it outward. I do both sides. And when you do the V and place the 12-inch pieces in, I do that because then my 6-inch piece is visible and both ends of my 12-inch piece are visible. And that's the reason that I do the 6-inch. That's the reason that I V the 12-inch the way that I do when I lay it in. Okay, so next is the gnome. One more time, when you do your 12-inch pieces, just scrunch up the middle, pinch the two sides together, V it back towards you, lining up these ends. Now, although I haven't mentioned, but when you put your mesh and your ribbons on this bottom layer, this is forming the base of your entire wreath. So make sure that you pull everything tight. Pull the mesh down tight in the pipe cleaners, pull the ribbon down tight. We want all of that to be really secure. some people wait until the end to fluff up their ribbon tails and adjust them. I just, like I said, prefer to do mine as I go. That way I don't miss any. And I make sure that my overall design looks exactly the way that I want it to when I'm finished. Because once you layer the materials on top of each other, it's harder to adjust and arrange it. I'm pretty particular about the way that my ribbons lay, which is why I use the X pattern and the V pattern and stuff. Sometimes I even lay in only one ribbon at a time, even if I'm using all 12-inch pieces, so that I can control the way that they lay or spread out. Everybody is different. Every designer is different. Some people don't adjust or fluff or do anything with the ribbon tails. They just let them lay in there naturally, which those wreaths are still beautiful. Just personal preference, I guess. Love these colors together, the yellow and the black and the beige. I think it really looks good for a summer bee theme. I'm going to be doing lives on those attachments, or the things that I showed you at the beginning. And then I'm probably going to also do a live doing a wreath with them. I have like an entire bee week. And then when I get a lot of these bees done, I want to do some ladybugs. We've got one more on the bottom here, and then we'll be ready to start working on our next layer. Now we're going to start working on our inside 6-pipe cleaner. So we're just going to reach between our pieces of mesh and pull those straight out to the outside. Remember that there were 6 of those, so make sure when you're going around and pulling them out that you get all 6. And make sure you're pulling them straight out to the outside. So make sure you're reaching between the right pieces of mesh so that you're coming straight out with those pipe cleaners. Okay, so now we're ready. And on the second layer on this one, I used this yellow and cream colored poly burlap check. All of these meshes came from craftoutlet.com. I don't remember where I got the Gnome ribbon. Craft Outlet might have it. I bought it last year, so I can't remember. The bee ribbon that is on here, I actually purchased from Amazon. Okay, so we're going to cruffle this the same way for the top layer. Just going to fold it over. We got a loose piece. I'm going to snip that off. going to fold it over. Keep your pinkies holding the ends down and curl 2, 3, 4. Turn the curl away from you. Same thing on the other end. Flip it upside down. Unscrunch right down the middle. It will look like this. And then this time, instead of putting the finished edge to the outside and the inside, we're going to turn it. And we're going to put the finished edges to the right and to the left. Put it straight down in our pipe cleaner. Also on this layer, do not pull your mesh real tight because you don't want to sink it clear to the base of your design and lose this mesh inside of the other materials. You want it kind of resting on the top because we're building our design up. When we get done with this design, it will be about 5 to 6 inches deep. So it makes a really nice size wreath. Put in my second piece, same process, and then I just, as I go, I line up the edges of these so they rest right against each other. This poly burlap check mesh can really make all the difference in your design. It's something about the type of material and the color and the contrast texture that it adds. Really, I think it really sets off just about any design, and they do offer it in other colors too. I use the pink and cream quite a bit in my designs. This mesh is also weatherproof, which is a great thing if you're hanging it out on your front door. Three more to go. Toss my pipe cleaner. Okay. Oh, I did it again. My mind is somewhere. I don't even know where. Okay. One thing that I would add about this mesh, even though I love it and it's one of my favorites, it will, like these strips will come out once you cut it. So it's not a mesh that you really want to mess around with a lot. In other words, don't cut it till you're ready to use it. Don't try using it to design and then taking it out and using it in a different design, because it will mess it up. It doesn't bounce back like some of the other meshes do. It tends to really fray and start coming apart. And once it's in the Wreath design, it's good to go. You've got your curled cut edges curled under. They're protected, so they're not going to unravel at that point. I've cut some of these for a Wreath and then changed my mind and used something different, only to go back to get this to use it on a different project, and it was all messed up. So I didn't get to use that. I did get to use it, but I had to cut a lot of the ends off. Okay, so now we're ready for our second layer. We laid these to the side earlier, 3 of each of our colors. Okay, and we're going to keep our pattern the same. So we're going to do the bee with the black and white. And for the top layer, when I do my ribbons, I crisscross them in an X pattern in front of me on the table. And then I just scrunch right down the middle, pinch the 2 sides together so that it's in my hand, looks kind of like an X. And then I just place it straight down into the pipe cleaner, twist it 3 or 4 times because we want to make sure that's not coming out. And we're done with this pipe cleaner now, so we can clip that off, push it down inside, and give it a squeeze. Okay, and then just straighten your ribbons out and fluff them out. And now we're going to alternate the pattern. So, oops, I lost one of our flowers. So now we're going to do the yellow and black polka dot and the gnome. Exact same process. Make an X in front of you, scrunch it down the middle, pinch the 2 sides together so that you have an X in your fingers, straight down into the pipe cleaner, twist 3 or 4 times, and then adjust and fluff out. Oops, nope, push that down in and squeeze, then adjust and fluff out your ribbons. Okay. And now we're back to the bee in the black and white, and we're just going to keep alternating the pattern. Looking to see, I'm going to need my zip ties in a minute, and normally I have them right, oh, there they are. So say, normally they're right in front of me. Okay. Okay, now we have 2 more to do. Also wanted to mention, if you guys like bee gnomes and that theme, I have another video on my Facebook Live and on YouTube. We're using a different style of gnomes, the one with the long legs. So you might want to check that out too, if this is something that you like. next one. Now we're going to get ready and attach our cute little gnomes. And I'm also going to get my hot glue gun back here and turn it on so it'll start warming up. Okay, for some reason, I don't know why, I always put the little guy on my left side and the little girl on my right side. And I'm just going to position them down here like they're sitting on these two pieces of mesh here at the bottom. And then, you know, make sure their little hats are sitting in there where I can attach them. Okay, and then I'm going to use zip ties to hold them. Make sure it looks like that camera angle is not too great. So maybe I can turn it this way. Okay. I think you guys will be able to see better that way. I don't know, I might have to do some testing with this camera thing. Sometimes my videos come out perfectly, other times they come out on like a narrow view, and I do it the same way every time, so I don't know why. Okay, so I'm going to pull a piece of this burlap mesh from the bottom up, and we're going to attach his inside foot here first. I'm going to run my pipe cleaner down through a piece of the mesh and back up through. And I've got a piece there, it's not just one single piece, I've got one of the curls so that it's several layers rolled together. You know that you can't really see that on the camera, so I thought I would explain. Okay, and then before I tighten it down, I like to pull him up where I want him and make sure I'm tightening my zip tie back here at the very back part of his foot. Okay, and I tighten it down tight, so I don't want him to come loose. And then I'm going to come over here and around this curl on this piece of the mesh, I'm going to attach his other foot. And that is you're going to be mashing your curl when you do that, but it's underneath this top layer, so it's not going to be noticeable. Okay, so again, pull him up here to the front, so he's not sinking down in the back of our wreath. And I'm just clipping off the ends of my zip ties with a little pair of jewelry wire cutters. Okay, now I'm going to come over here to the girl, and oops, I wanted to keep it this way so y'all can see. Maybe I'll turn it all the way around so I can see also. Do the exact same process with the girl, just over here on this opposite side. And we'll start with her inside foot. I have attached gnomes before, only attaching one foot, but these two are kind of heavy. They've got a little bit of weighted bottoms, so I want to make sure that they're going to be secure, so I'm just going to go ahead and do both. It doesn't take that much extra time just to make sure it's on there good. And then when you're reaching down underneath this yellow mesh, remember, it's fragile. Try not to be rough with it. You don't want to mash it up and tear it up. And you could use a different type of mesh too if you wanted to. I'm just really partial to it because I like the look and also like the weather resistance. And as long as you're not too rough in handling it, it stays beautiful. Okay, now I'm going to come up here and attach their hats. Their hats have a little wire in them, so I'm going to kind of just bend it over there a little bit, and I'm going to attach kind of around where my bend is. Pull that tight. And then to cover up that pipe cleaner, I just take their little hats and fold it over, like that. Okay, let's do his hat. Whoops. And bend his hat down. There we go. So super cute. Or you can bend them to the inside, whichever way you wanted to. And then I think I'm gonna go ahead. I'm just afraid they don't really seem to be moving, but I just want to give them a little extra security here in the middle. So I'm gonna make them look like they're got their arms wrapped around each other there. And I'm going to put one more right there just to keep them attached to each other in the middle so they don't sink down through. Now I think you probably could go without this one, but just being extra secure. I want their hands to go down. And I'm not going to pull that one quite as tight. Off the end, and then I'm going to push that little white part to the back so that it's not visible. There, I think that gives them just a little extra security. And then we have just a couple more touches. We're going to, in each of the 6 sections that we did last on the top, we're going to put one of these really pretty sunflowers there. We're just going to attach those down with some hot glue. I got these flowers from Amazon and they come with just the head. I would say these are probably about 3 inches wide. They're very good quality. They look the centerpiece of them is nice. The petals are nice. I really like the quality of them, so that's why I keep getting them off of Amazon. I've ordered them 2 or 3 times now. And then I gotta get the one that dropped. Okay. And then our last little final touch is I have these really cute resin bees. I ordered these also from Amazon. I think I've seen them on Etsy before too. They're just flat back resin and they look just like little bees. And so I'm going to take and I'm going to glue one of these in each flower. And then that's it. The design is all done. Let me know what you guys think of it in the comments. And thank you guys for hanging out with me and watching, especially since I didn't have everything quite completely prepared when we started. I really appreciate it. But that's our overall finished design. I'm not going to make you guys hang around and watch me glue. But if anybody tries this or wants to make this, just let me know. I'd love to see a picture of how it turns out. Okay, you guys have a great evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Ooh, my bee. 2 of my bees.